Yes, this is basic geometry. Your flat Earth geometry. Flat Earth geometry. This is basic geometry.
It is.
I called you a flat earther.
My name's Ramsey.
Insisting that your flat Earth geometry will work.
I'm familiar with the bubble, Morty. I also dabble in precision, and if you think you can even approach it with your sad naked caveman eyeball in a bubble of air, you're the reason this species is a failure, and it makes me angry.
Did he say a five-sided square question mark?
You're a universal horizontal waterer.
You're drunk.
I called you a flat earther.
You want to experience true level? Do you? Yes. You want to experience true level?
That auto level is establishing a horizontal. That's just the way it is.
Because I've done the test with an auto level, which gives you a horizontal.
Yeah, it's gonna look super flat.
All right, come on. Wow, it's so...
Three coplanar points.
Oh, Christ. Yeah, true level, bitch.
I called you a flat earther.
If you're into math, there's a certain shape where you could make a five-sided square.
Are you suggesting that horizontal can't curve?
Oh, everything's crooked. Reality is poison. I want to go back. I hate this.
What's his deal?
Morty. Go to school, Summer. I'll go in Morty's memory and do a little.
Randy, come on, that's a globe. And he eventually just gave up and said, yeah, I agree, it's a globe.
Geodesic is a continuous string of infinitely small, straight lines.
Yeah, true level, bitch.
It's really flat and level now.
Randy, come on, that's a globe.
Yeah, true level, bitch.
Randy, come on, that's a globe.
Lance to the cosmic slaughter! Well, you seem to be in charge of what I get to remember. Why? Good question.
Randy, come on, that's a globe.
I'll go in Morty's memory and do a little. Wow, it's so... Oh my god! Oh Christ! Yeah, true level, bitch.
If you're into math, there's a certain shape where you could make a five-sided square.
Randy, come on, that's a globe.
Yeah, true level, bitch. Wow, it's so... Oh my god! Oh Christ! Yeah, true level, bitch.
I called you a flat earther.
True level, bitch.
I called you a flat earther.
True level, bitch.
I called you a flat earther.
Yeah, true level, bitch.
Person to think.
When you get to the end of this test and you have a result and you say level is horizontal and everyone says big whoop, but it doesn't prove anything about the shape of the earth, will you then say yes it does?
No.
No. Okay, I'm going to bed. All right.
Okay, so
I'm going to bed.
That level is horizontal is good for you then, right?
I agree. I agree. Level's horizontal. All
Sweet.
Right,
true level, bitch.
Perfect.
Wow.
Nice, mate.
Nice.
Hey, we got a new member?
For that. You flipped it, man.
Yeah, true level, bitch.
And we are live. Welcome, everybody. It is Free for All Friday on the level Discord. Come on in. Chat about whatever. Go over all of the stuff on the week. We've been going over yesterday's going over of the 5 laws of globe as dictated by the rumpus and blue marble science himself, Obviously not the mythical Blue Marble Science, but the person, the YouTuber called Blue Marble Science. And I think we were going over, he had 5 laws. I think he broke every one of them, apart from, well, the first one's not a law, it's just a tis globe. Obviously, you always have to start axiom 1, tis globe. And then every one of the other ones I think he broke, I think. But that's typical, isn't it? I mean, if you're gonna imagine that you're gonna take the axioms from everyone, postmodernism science, mythical Blue Marble Science. Yeah, they showed us that basically the reason that they've been, say, arguing, but you can't argue with no argument. So the reason they've been practicing their sophistry, and the reason they've been allowed to get away with practicing their sophistry, is because there's a flat earth psyop going on. And they can just revert to that rather than talking about their model or anything. It's hilarious. Just normal people living in reality, and then all of a sudden somebody says, no, not that. You go, what do you mean not that? Vertical and horizontal, they're perpendicular. No, they're not. That's it, that's where we're at. That's Blue Marble Science. The science of the not that. Explained perfectly last night by Rumpus and Blue Marble Science himself. With the straight lines are not curved. But then...
well, Blue was responsible for one of the 5.
Yeah, that was the add-on, wasn't it? The straight lines are not curved.
Mm-hmm.
And then Rumpus, when he showed the elevation profiles at the end, it completely shat all over that, right?
Completely the opposite, yeah.
Straight lines are straight. So that was Rumpus's one, and then Blue Marble said, and curved lines are not. So what did Rumpus do at the end? He bent the straight line on an elevation profile, and he straightened the curve line.
Yep.
Fantastic.
So we know one of the 5 is Blues. 4 are Rumpuses, and one of the 5 is Blues.
Yeah. Well, Rocky Rhodes, who's been a long time troll, he says it would be better if you're all obsessed over the people that are teaching our kids this instead of some wacky YouTubers. Well, Rocky, I would say that teachers in the schools aren't teaching anybody this shit. The only people that are talking about this shit are people like Rumpus and Blue Marble Science. It's mythical. It doesn't exist. Teachers in schools don't teach it. You guys just imagine that teachers in schools teach it. Well, it is a free-for-all Friday, so yeah. I personally don't think in the school system any of the teachers teach anything to do with these guys, physics or mathematics or geometry or what these guys imagine. The globe geometry, the globe physics, the globe philosophy or whatever it is. Nobody ever gets taught it. It doesn't exist in the school system. It only exists by, I'd say, triggered boomers that have got nothing better to do than sit around on internet sites, come into chat rooms, really get triggered about something. Now, it is something that people fall deep into, this psyop, I guess. Probably because the human mind is able to go to these places. It's inquisitive. It wants to solve problems. If you don't really know what the problem is to start off with, then it gets really difficult to find out how to solve a problem. First off, you have to identify the problem, but modern life has got people so fucked up that they don't even know what the problem is. If you're starting from a base of confusion, then the only way to do that is to simplify it for yourself. Backtrack and make sure that your foundations are solid. First principles. It's the only place to do it. It's the only way to go, especially in modern times. Elementary school, that would be really early learning. Rocky Road says he was taught the globe in elementary school. Now, what sort of learning of the globe do you think that would be? Like, where do you learn it? I wonder why you learn it at that age.
And what do you learn about it other than a picture of it?
Yeah.
Or a drawing of it and the drawing of the solar system. What do you learn about the science of the globe?
Yes, think about all of the other things that you learn at that time, right? What sort of grouped learning would you put it with? Because I think I do actually think I've got a thing that I saved. I'll see if I can find it. Maybe a little bit tricky, but I did have a thing that I got from in one of these globes that I did get, that I bought. But what sort of things do you learn at that time? At the same time, Rocky, when you were learning it at elementary school, what would you put alongside it? Like learning words? Learning numbers? Would you put it in with your times table when you were reciting your times table?
How about the bell? You learned the bell. Remember the bell?
Well, see, I don't really, because, you know.
The bell, then the bell from the school.
Yeah, the bell that told you that it was time to change classes, you mean?
No, well, the bell that singled recess, the bell that singled go in while you were playing in the morning.
Right, yep.
The bell that singled after recess is over. Now that's just conditioning, right? Then you go over to the workforce, you get the same thing. You punch in the clock, you get a bell for your 15 minutes cigarette break or whatever, then the bell for the lunch, an hour, right? That whole thing, yeah, it's all planned, everything.
See that there? I just posted that. Oh. Hopefully everyone can see that. It says, then this is for the globe, the national curriculum coverage. The floating globe is a great way to support learning about the Earth and space. Part of the national curriculum for science at key stages 1 and 2. Not 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, just 1 and 2. So I guess Rocky's right. Rocky is correct, right? You do learn it at elementary and then nothing else after that. That's why I'm a little bit different than everybody else. I had a bit of a mind wipe at 7. So I don't have any of that. And strangely enough, there's nothing else goes in. Nobody else ever teaches you anything. Apart from the molten core and volcanoes. I think that's the only other bit that you ever get. Which obviously is rubbish. Not true at all, but I mean, you're expected to go along with it. And then after that, you've got rumpus and blue marble science. Trolls on the internet telling you all about it. what their imaginings are. No proof. No arguments. No nothing. Just a load of nutters and contradictions, like Rumpus said last night. Rumpus and Blue Marble Science. Full of contradictions everywhere. So this one tonight is called Paradoxes of the Globe Model. Blue Marble Induced Paradoxes. Because I'll say it again. There is no paradoxes in reality. They don't occur. There's no contradictions. If you find a contradiction, there's something wrong within the logical statements that you've made. But this Blue Marble Science model, as Blue Marble Science said himself, it's mythical. It doesn't exist. There's no stuff. There's nothing there, just in imagination. So the people that are telling us about this, it's just imaginary. Blue Marble Science, the Discord, Blue Marble Science, the YouTuber, has admittedly named his channel after a mythical science. It doesn't exist. There's no such thing as Blue Marble Science. Except the guy on YouTube. That's the only Blue Marble Science there is. So we're having to deal with well, I don't think there's not much welcome, Mr. Cheswick. Yeah, we've not had any recourse from it, so I think Blue Marble Science and all of the guys were admitting that yeah, there's too many contradictions and nobody else can come and sort it, especially Rumpus. I mean, like, everybody knows that Rumpus can't fix anything. It's useless. So that's what we're stuck with.
You mean you don't have any hopes for the spring rec test?
Rumpus is not going to do his test. And we said that ages ago when we actually went there and did it. When we did that with and put the auto level up on that bridge where Rumpus is going to do his test, we knew that moment Rumpus is not going to do his test. And we knew at that moment as well that Rumpus has never even done it. He's never even been there. Never even put an auto level up. Never even looked through it. So Rumpus, yeah, Rumpus hasn't done a thing. He's not going to do it and never will do it. Never even intended to do it. I think personally that if we hadn't have gone there on that weekend, I think Rumpus would have took a few pictures and said he'd already done it. Because we didn't stop him from doing anything. And he's never been back since. Anytime that anybody wants... Does anybody want to have a talk about any of the contradictions that we saw yesterday from Rumpus? 5 laws of globe.
Well, the most blaring one, I would say, was the contradiction of the straight line and it not being a curved line, and then them at the near the end saying the complete opposite, that a straight line is curved and a curved line is straight. And I think I heard Rumpus say that that's the straight curved line of LIGO. Was I hearing things? Did I hear that correctly? Rumpus, if you're listening.
Yeah, the elevation profile was the curved one of LIGO. The straight line becomes curved. That's what he said. Yeah. Yeah. So the curved one was LIGO, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and the curved one is straight.
Yep.
I'm trying to find the thing for you so I can get a
Don't
screenshot of the 5.
don't forget about the bridge. That's straight, but then curves down.
Mhm.
So, I mean, they can't figure out what's curving up, down, straight.
Yeah, that was initially. Thank you very much, Buster. Initially, that was the thing that we went to with Lake Pontchartrain.
Yeah. 5.8, 5.8.
Because they had it curving the other way round,
Right.
according to Jesse.
Yep.
Jesse had it curving the other way round, yet Rumpus had it curving the opposite way. Blue seemed to forget about that. I'm surprised he didn't mention that to Rumpus while he was doing it, to be honest.
Yeah, and don't forget the 5.8, like Buster just said. 5.8 all the way across. And the average depth of that lake, I'm sure a lot of people don't realize how shallow it is.
Yeah, it's not 90 feet.
No, not even close.
There you go. I don't know whether you can see that. It's not brilliant quality when I recorded it. So it says number 1, the Earth in the globe model is a spheroid.
Yes, this is what we need. Yes.
Well, everybody's seen a globe model, haven't they?
Mm-hmm. Perfect sphere.
It's a spheroid, right?
Perfect.
Well, that's genius, right? The globe model is a spheroid. Well done, Rumpus. Genius. But that's a good start. His globe. Number 2. Down is towards the centre of the Earth and is determined by gravity. That's the one where he said you pointed out that an oblate spheroid wouldn't put it to the centre. The actual, the normal of vertical. So right off at number 2, it's messed up. That's not true. And he knows it's true. And he says it's not true the moment he draws a circle. Right? He points out that one isn't true. But he doesn't go back and change it. It doesn't make it any different than that. He just tells you he's negated number 2 the moment he draws a circle. Elevation, or the fundamental concept, is the distance from the centre of the Earth. Well, that's not true either, is it? Because of the oblate thing as well, like he explained before. Fail.
And how do you get to the center of the Earth? Let's not forget that.
It's not true. Yeah. So because the elevation of things don't change depending on where they are because of the oblateness of their model around the point that Rumpus says he's going to forget about when he's doing this. So yeah, that's 2 and 3 gone. 4 is horizontal is a tangent to a conceptual surface as defined by the radius and perpendicular to vertical. Horizontal.
Conceptual surface.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it sounds like he was covering for Wally on that one.
Yeah. Well, a conceptual surface can be in the air.
Yeah,
you can have an air conceptual surface.
They draw two
tangents.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't they draw 2 concentric circles and they put another tangent and they said, yeah, cool. Like nuts.
So if you're willing to consider air as a conceptual surface, well, I suppose you have to, right? So within that, and number 5, straight lines are straight and curved lines are not, except for when Rumpus draws an elevation profile. And that one goes out the window. But he didn't put that proviso there on the end of it, so that's gone as well.
That one's Blues.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the one that Blue should have said, Rumpus, what are you talking about? Wouldn't we say at the beginning? That curved lines are not straight, but Rumpus drew it as straight. Absolutely fantastic. That explains the globe model completely. Blue marble science. That's exactly what blue marble science is. And is it surprising that there's not going to be any blue marble scientists to come and defend this bullshit? Because it's obvious bullshit. Absolutely. The worst thing is, they have to do this. Rumpus said it. They have to go by it. Not because Rumpus said it. It's because this is the fucking model. This is their model. This is what you have to do. You have to curve straight lines and straighten curved lines just to keep a model. And it's the model that generates the contradictions in the first place.
Just ditch the model, guys. Look at the stuff it's making you say and draw and do. I mean, come on, give it up.
One of the first things I ever did was go to the canal. Mr. Obvious is tell him to hang a plumb bob over the water and we'll talk. That's what I said. I said, we've got a 27-mile stretch of canal. Just go to one end of it, put a plumb bob there, over the water, perpendicular. Go to the other end of it, plumb bob over it, perpendicular. Go to the middle, or go walk from one end to the other, and wherever you want, hang a plumb bob over the water in the canal, perpendicular. It's pretty easy, dead easy to see, dead easy to do. You just have to deny the fundamental concepts of geometry. Oh man, and his detector. Well, they were telling us the other day, I don't know whether you heard it. Who was that? It was Spooky, was it? Spooky December? Technically, turns out a straight line is a curve. So you're all right. You can say it curves. Straight lines. Get away with it. Straight lines curve because they're straight anyway. Straight line is now a mathematical curve of 0.
Well, you have a choice. You can go either way, according to Rumpus and Blue. Depending on the situation, you can curve it or straighten it.
Yeah, do you reckon you could do... Well, I wonder what would happen, right? If you were to do an elevation profile of an elevation profile. Do you reckon that would break the globe, that? Do you reckon you could absolutely smash a blue marble scientist's head in for getting him to try and draw an elevation profile of an elevation profile?
Sounds interesting.
And whether would it revert back to the original shape?
Well, you can speculate, but one thing is for sure: at the end, it's going to beat this globe. So you know the outcome before you do the calculation.
Good.
And if it doesn't,
oh, go on. Sorry.
I was going to say, if it doesn't work out like that, then you just rejig it to make sure it equals this globe.
Yeah. Godzilla says he's pushing 53, and in all my life I've only seen a globe used once for any practical purpose. A soccer ball. And you must have seen somebody draw a line on a ball. Look, I'll get you one. A soccer ball. Look, I think. We've got B-ball. B-ball drew like on an exercise ball.
I got not Professor Phil also putting an ant and drawing lines on a basketball.
An ant on a basketball, right? Yeah. So it's not just soccer balls. Gods, they can use them in scientific things all over. I'll find the B-ball one. I've got loads of pictures here, you know. I bet I've put it in a special b-ball one. There we go. There's even... Look. Is this not an angel? That's Earth is Life. B-ball for life. Asking you. Oh, he was asking Saragaki. Saragaki, is this not an angel? I think he meant angle, but, you know, we'll let people off. Especially B-ball. He needs as much help as he can get. And look, if you wanted to know, he used that ruler.
A pink ruler?
That's the ruler he used
to
draw some lines on a exercise ball.
We'll let him off the hook for the pink thing. Probably his daughters.
Oh, there we go. Here's all of the things. Look, he even put a protractor on it. He drew lines on a big exercise ball. So if you can't do scientific experiments on a ball, gods, is this not an angel? See it again. Saragaki, is this not an angel? It's so precise as well. Hey, can you remember tiny protractors?
Yeah. Remember this one? Talk about lines on a ball.
Yeah, that's a spherical square.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah, they can do all sorts of things. Blue marble scientists. I've got tons of little clips and stuff all over the place. An angle, says Godzilla, requires two converging straight lines. Can't have either of those on a sphere's surface. Yeah. Sphere is a surface of constant curvature.
Here's the one from my buddy Phil.
Yeah. Ant looks dead. What's he doing? Has he killed an ant and put it upside down on a basketball?
Yeah, I never noticed
he
that.
Has, hasn't he? Like, yeah.
He had this, like, facing up.
He's put a dead ant on the top of a basketball. Always inventive. It's because he's in Australia, isn't he? So be an Australian ant. Just it doesn't know where he is.
Oh man, the laughs they gave us. Thank you, Phil. This is an old one. This is when Phil first came out.
Yeah, I was going through all of my old videos. And I'm pretty sure I did Perpendicularity with Professor Phil when we did a proof thing. We had a series of proof for proof going.
Yeah, but it seemed to have stumbled, that one. It broke down somehow.
It stumbled right after the perpendicular one, because I was asking him when he was going to come up with a proof on the globe model and stop giving us Euclidean proofs that aren't going to help him in at all. That's when he got stuck. He was all right coming up with Euclidean proofs. But when he realised that they didn't... In fact, that might be a good one, that. I wonder whether... YouTube Professor Phil Bell. See, now, I have to bring this one up, right? It may be a little bit tricky to talk about, but since Blue Marble Science has said that it's mythical, right? the science of the blue marble doesn't exist. It's a no such thing. So when Blue Marble Science named himself Blue Marble Science, he knew that he was naming it after a mythical thing. Do you reckon Professor Phil Bell's also the same, right? Do you reckon Professor Phil Bell might also be a mythical character that just doesn't exist? Like Blue Marble Science doesn't exist. It's mythical. Because I don't think Professor Phil Bell's a professor. At all.
Well, he has the title.
Yeah, and Blue Marble Science has the title Blue Marble Science. And he's told us that it's definitely not real. It's a mythical science.
Strange days.
Yeah. Going over these things. I mean, it's free for all Friday. Anybody can come over. Anybody can come in and have a chat. If you've heard anything, come in and let us know. Any problems with anything that we're saying? Anything you want to correct us on? Anything you just want to get off your chest?
Oh, there's a space hotel up in the plans. That's you posted that one, Bev. I didn't realize.
Yeah, that's
2025.
Werner von Braun. That's the same one that he had. The similar sort of design. The big spinning space hotel, 2025. Be able to go up there and have a. I don't know whether they'll do weekends or you have to go for a week. Way up.
Day.
Is that?
Hear you.
Hot Mike Redmond? I did get a thing from Wally about the video last night.
But how do you have this contradiction? A perfect sphere, a geoid, an ellipsoid, and chunky, like a pear, chunky at the bottom. How do you reconcile that in your head? I mean, can you do it? I can't.
I guess you have to be a dilethyist.
I would, more than that, like a quadlethyist or something like that. And
it doesn't really matter, right? Because if you have your limit, one end, like 0 and 1, if you put something in between, that opens up for everything in between. Like, you can't just limit yourself to 1 whenever you do that. So dilethyism is both being true. But this is sort of an inclusion of the middle violation, right? It's once you start with the law of identity breaking and the law of non-contradiction, then you start including the middle. Well, you can include as many middles as you want because you've got a middle of the middle to the end. There's an infinite amount of middles at the moment you start doing that. That's what they're doing. Just adding in extra options. It's the same as, let's say, the gender thing.
Holy confusion, Batman.
Mm-hmm. It gets tricky, doesn't it? Everybody wants a middle. That middle isn't good enough for them. They want their own middle. Their own middle ground. But they don't want to budge from where they are. I think it's a taught thing nowadays. People are happy like that. Getting their own little piece of whatever.
Good afternoon.
Hey, Rob.
Hello.
Good day. Good day, Paper. I did expect it to be pretty quiet today after that one yesterday.
I'm sorry, I missed yesterday. What happened?
The 5 laws of globe, as dictated to by Rumpus and Blue Marble Science. You missed the 5 laws that all globe people must stick to.
Similar to like imaginometry on the level.live.
Oh, possibly, yeah. But this is more like the rules that you should stick to. But Rumpus broke. So that's like, if you want to be in with the globe, you have to stick to these rules. But you must be flexible enough to break every one of them. I think it's a test, really, for how globe you can really be, right? Because that's what it's well worth going over many times to point out exactly how you have to break the fundamental laws of logic within Rumpus's 20-minute thing. It probably would be good to go over that and mark every break of the fundamental law that he does within it.
Yeah, everybody should hear that one. I'm going to put it up on my YouTube, and of course you can get it on Bev's.
Yeah, you'll have to do it and go over it because you know it's Blue Marble Science, so you have to review the content, otherwise he'll
Well, Blue gave me a pass. He said I can ask him. If I ask him and he gives the green light, it's okay, apparently.
Okay.
That's what he told me last time.
Yeah, that's last time. Have you asked him about the 5 laws of globe?
Not yet, no. I'm dying to.
Yeah, try asking him. That'd be good, that.
You will be banned immediately.
Yeah, I'd go over it again.
First one.
Yeah.
Tis globe.
Tis globe. Yeah, that's... Yeah, you'd like it, Rob. It does definitely. Rumpus starts off with Axiom 1. Tis globe. Earth is a globe. Tis a spheroid.
Yeah, well, that's what I was saying. Like, when you go to on the level.live and you go to imaginometry, the first one is the globe.
The first axiom.
Must be a globe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tis globe.
Yeah, tis globe.
Yeah, that's where everything gets filtered from. Every thought they have starts from Axiom 1.
I think I could do that as a t-shirt. Axiom 1, tis globe. That is, unless DP doesn't get there first.
Anyone heard from DP lately? I haven't even seen him around.
No.
Yeah, me neither.
No.
Hope he's well.
Yeah, he can come in whenever he wants. I did have No Tanks asking if he could come in, and I said, nah, we don't need any Flat Earth Society guys in here. But DP can come in. We'll make an exception. Oh. I'm thinking next week as well, we start the run-up to... We're going to do a special in remembrance of George. God rest his soul. We're going to do a week of specials of George. Because he is missed, isn't he? I know that the Blue Marble Scientists miss him. Because he did a lot of good work for them. So it's worth going over all of the things that that George did for the Globe and for the Blue Marble scientists to help them out. But in order for us to do that, we have to explain about the surveying and how the surveying psyop happened and how everybody was fooled by a character into thinking that that's how surveying actually works. Because everybody has been tricked by thing. And when I say everybody, I mean the Blue Marble scientists too. Jesse Kozlowski was a character that they made up to play a part. And he played his part very well. He set the scene for everybody. Just that at the end of it, what it ends up with is it ends up with Rumpus making ridiculous laws of Globe that he broke every one of them. And that's because Jesse Kozlowski left them in a really bad position. So we'll go over exactly how that occurred and how that happened maybe next week. And then it depends how long it takes us to go over that. And I know some people will be really upset. Particularly the Blue Marble Science guys, because I think Blue Marble Science talks to Jesse Kozlowski and the guy that may or may not live in Maine. There's a couple of videos we'll go over in the lead up to it. But it's about time we sort of let everybody know that Free for All Fridays, that Rumpus really, he's making shit up. Blue Marble Science also making shit up. Shikey trying to prove things by misunderstanding definitions.
When Rumpus is talking, I have a scientific expression for that, what he's doing. I call it incoherent stream of unconsciousness. I hope that sounds very scientific.
Incoherentness.
Yes.
Once you've heard people enough times, I know what you mean, because you do shut off. My brain stops functioning. At the moment, I think you instinctively get it, right? Everybody does get this instinctively, right? When you hear somebody talking, they're talking a load of rubbish. You shut off. You don't hear what they're saying. Because you know that you can't understand it. Now, half of the time, you may not know why you don't understand it. You could possibly come out of it thinking that you're the one that's not quite intelligent enough to understand it. Or you could sort of come out of it and say that you just talked too fast and you couldn't understand it. But you can't stop them to point out where the problem is. So you just end up not taking any of this information in. And there's quite a few people I know in this arena now that I don't go into certain rooms. I don't go to these places because it just turns into, I don't know what you have to listen to. You have to listen to incoherent babble. Scientific, Blue Marble scientific babble. That's the mythical science of the Blue Marble. Technical babble. Incoherent.
Not just any old babble.
Yeah, mythical Blue Marble science. Incoherent
babble.
Technical babble.
Yeah.
And the worst part of it is they use some of the words that are actually meant to be in the precise definition. So you just end up losing understanding of what's going on, and then it becomes more difficult for somebody to try and straighten you out on the fact. It's very strange. And I think because Blue Marble Science has banned us from this community, his Blue Marble Science community, that we're not going to be talking to any Blue Marble scientists or anything anytime.
Why did you get banned? You told him a straight line is straight or something?
I don't know. I don't know why I got banned the last time. He just sent us a message saying he'd had a clear out. He banned me, Mobius, and Mike Jones because I think because well, he said because we had an idea of some mythical science. But everybody in his Discord server the other day were calling themselves Blue Marble scientists. But Blue Marble seems to think it's a mythical science. So he had everybody in his server being this scientists of this mythical thing. Now I have been writing science, Blue Marble Science, in frantic bunny ears for quite a bit, and to me, frantic bunny ears means not real. It doesn't actually exist. When you're saying science and doing frantic bunny ears, it means not that. Well, Blue Marble agrees, and he's banned us because we agree that Blue Marble Science is obviously a fictitious, made-up thing.
Yeah, that's a given for us. I mean, yeah. We know their Blue Marble Science is mythical, is fantasy. And we show them paradoxes of it all the time.
Somebody's counting fallacies.
Hang on, I just want to. Sorry, I couldn't get to the mute button fast enough. So I'm trying to stay on mute most of the time. I just wanted to add to what SE said. Fuck, I forgot. SE, can you repeat what you just said?
What did I say?
I sidetracked.
I said a lot of stuff, a lot of babble.
No, it was the last sentence you had. Then
we
I
were
talked
talking about
muting
their
and
mythical,
I lost
their
it.
mythical thing, right?
Oh, the paradox. Yeah. So you said that they have a paradox, but you say paradox, they say no. That's the way it works on the globe.
Yeah, accepted paradoxes. Yeah. Then you can just tell them, Rob. Yeah, we know that you accept these paradoxes. We're okay with it. I mean, it's your model.
Yeah, you have to.
You have to accept these paradoxes. You have to bend a straight line, or else your model doesn't work.
Well, the model
we get that.
The model induces the paradox, so of course they have to have it, right?
Yeah.
The model makes it a paradox. It's strange that they can't see that we don't get that. They think it's it's not a paradox. That's the thing. They can't see the contradiction. Therefore, that... it's like Chaiki the other day when we were going over vertical and horizontal being perpendicular, right? He got around that by not understanding the definition of horizontal. Well, it's the same idea of the globe model and the paradoxes. If they don't know logic, then how are they going to see a contradiction? You can't see a contradiction, there's no paradox. Easy.
Absolutely. Not only did he not understand it, but he refused the explanation of it in the dictionary.
Mm-hmm.
He refused that. Yeah, that he wanted your explanation,
which I gave him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's how you get around these things. He got around the perpendicularity by missing the by missing the definition of horizontal, or misunderstanding the definition of horizontal. So all of the blue marble scientists, the globe guys, they get around not seeing the contradiction or the paradox by not understanding logic. Not employing logic enables you to not be able to see a contradiction that's right there. Simple.
Amazing.
Godzilla brings a very good point up. I've never seen that before. Anyone answer that question? Godzilla. Open house. Why are there coloured poop emojis? It's a pressing issue, this.
I was thinking of that before.
I gotta jump. What are we talking about now? I know it's Free for All Friday, but what?
Yeah, Godzilla asks, why are there coloured poop emojis? Why?
Does he know the answer, or is he asking us for the answer? Because, to be honest, I didn't know that colored poop emojis was a thing.
Have a look in the chat.
I'm trying to put LED fog lights in my personal car right now.
Is that a coloured poop or some sort of like a Mr. Whippy ice cream thing or what?
Pink poop.
Seems a bit fucking happy.
LBGT poop.
Pink poop.
I would have said ice cream for both of them, actually.
Would you?
Mm-hmm.
Well, seeing as it's Free for All Friday, I saw something interesting yesterday when I was watching a Flat Earther video, and he's going through all the TV stuff that they put in TV, and I saw something. In all my years of watching YouTube stuff on Flat Earth, I've never seen an episode of Sesame Street. You guys remember Sesame Street?
Uh-huh.
And they were showing kids books, right, in the fiction section.
Yeah.
Right? And on top of the bookshelf was a sign that said fiction. And on top of fiction sign was a globe and a spaceship.
Yep.
Let that sink in for a second.
It's kids'
On
program.
Sesame
You get
Street.
away with that.
On top of a fiction sign.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna marinate on that for a minute.
I'm sure they fired the guy that put that there.
Or not. Maybe it was on purpose.
Yeah, it's a joke.
Yeah.
It's a joke. I mean, you can
Just a
have,
joke.
yeah, you can have jokes.
or part of the magic. They have to show it to you in order for it to work, as some believe. They have to show you the lie, tell you the lie, in order for the magic to work.
This is a good one.
So the latest bull is, since it's Free for All Friday, they're telling us the center of this mythical sphere, fantasy sphere, which they only dug 7.8 miles, by the way. They're telling us it's either stopped and reversing, or it's going to reverse. I'm not sure. Did it happen? It's gonna happen. Yeah.
I was watching a guy who's following a guy who's been tracking the magnetic pole. And he says it's about due for a pole switch.
That's part of the thing, yeah.
But he's been saying he's been doing like the end is nigh videos for nearly about a year.
Don't worry, just if you notice your compass funny, just pretend north is south and south is north, and you're good. It's just a little shift. Or it might be, it might move like maybe 5 degrees more to where it is now. Who knows? Oh yeah, it's comforting.
I've had enough of it, to be honest. Because everybody assumes that I'm a flat earther. And because of that, they want to tell me about the globe. Or if people are assuming I'm not a flat earther, then they want to tell me about the globe. Just because of this arena that we're in. And I'm not interested. Way interested in the people that are still in it. It's crazy. It's crazy how it's got into people's minds. And I'm pretty sure it's at childhood. Like really early childhood. And the effects that you get given, you build a paracosm. Like this is so big a part of what you grow up with at childhood. You build this into your paracosm that you generate as you're a child.
The simplicity and the ease of which they can fool people is what really like amazes me, you know? Like after being shown this picture that I just posted and still believing that that thing actually left the Earth's surface. Never mind go where they said it went. Like actual paper mache, like, you know, when you do in school there, it's like, how? I mean, this is what really freaks me out, is how you can see the obvious fakery of it all and still fall for it and fight for it.
Yep. How many people also realize that the Apollo astronauts have a circle, not a star, but a circle on the Walk of Fame in Hollywood for television?
Yep. Yep.
A circle.
Let that sink in. Yeah, it's not a star. It's a circle.
You know, on the sidewalk.
Wait a second.
Yeah.
But the astronauts are on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
You didn't know that?
I'm gonna let that sink in for a minute.
Let that sink in.
Mm-hmm.
How many other televised events were the people involved in the actual event, just because it was televised, got a Walk of Fame, star, circle, whatever, on the Walk of Fame? I don't think very many, if any.
For anybody that doubts, oh, there it is. Mobius beat me to it.
Yep, there it is.
Now, how is that not telling? Was it a movie? Were they actors or were they astronauts, pilots, top of the top? Which
Well,
is
that's
it?
why. Yeah, right. That's why you have to ask yourself, what other actual historical event that had been televised, where the people involved in the event got some kind of star, or in this case circle, on the Walk of Fame? Because that's what it would have had to been, right? Well, they were televised because obviously they were televised. So yes, of course we're going to put them on the Walk of Fame as if it was a TV show. But there wasn't a TV show. It was real. It's absolutely real.
Yeah, very telling indeed.
But we're not supposed to be skeptical of these things. We may be a bit pedantic, as people say. Don't know.
Yeah, but how could somebody see that homeless shelter, right? And think that that thing actually went to the moon? Like, without knowing anything else, right? Just knowing how cars are made, how planes are made, how trains, how submarines are made. And then you look at this thing, I don't know how many millions and millions of dollars, and you have paper on it? Paper. Really? It's mind-boggling.
Yes, I was there.
You were there, actually there?
As he said, paper. Yes, I was there.
I was waiting for the punchline. Thank you, Paper. I kind of figured that's where you were going. That's funny.
Paper is a witness.
That's right. Paper, I guarantee you, Paper was in a lot better shape back then than that stuff was.
Yeah, this is all Star Trek.
So, anybody got anything else? Because it is free for all Friday.
Free for all Friday.
Yeah.
Topics of the day. Topics of the day. We were talking about.
What do you think of me paradox that said? Right, it's impossible to depict perpendicularity within Euclidean geometry on the globe model without contradiction. An impossibility. I get anybody to test anyone. You cannot do it. It's a paradox that sat right there and right in the front of everybody every time you look at it. That's why they keep making you look at it. Even I consider where even you doing that, Essie, you're showing the image. right? And I know people have to do that, but it gets pushed on everybody. So become accustomed to it.
It's a double-edged sword. Yeah.
Well, for people that can separate it, right, from reality, right, once they have a good grip on reality, it's okay. But for everybody else that sees it, they'll see that, and it will literally tell them what to think. Just the sight of it within a conversation.
Yeah, it's reinforcement. Yeah, even though it's an obvious joke, right? Looking at Bob Gardner, looking at the view, looking at the curve, and then seeing how small it would have to be. Yeah, it's still, you're still reinforcing, you're still showing the globe. Yeah, there's no way around that.
So,
but maybe for the normies, this is what it takes. This is the only way they can see it. I don't know.
I don't know. Like, you could take them through that. You could say that it's impossible to depict vertical and horizontal on the globe model, right? You could tell them and you could show them all of the proofs and all of that level's horizontal. Take them all through that. But because they've seen that picture that much, it's drilled into the brain as children. It's placed in there before you get that ability to know, to reason. Before you have that ability to reason, this stuff is told to you. So it gets accepted. It gets put in the truth box. There's nothing you can do about it. It's been given to everybody. Everybody does it to their children as they're growing up. There are certain things that become accepted, and they're just implanted in there. So all you're doing as adults is reinforcing it. It to me, because I lost all of these memories as a child, but it means nothing to me. It's the same as somebody just obsessing over Santa Claus constantly, just talking about him. But like his boots, you know, he has size 8 boots. You know, one foot's a little bit bigger than the other. His gloves, and, you know, like, just constantly. And then somebody says, yeah, but I'm not really interested in Santa Claus. Yeah, I know you're not interested in Santa Claus, but he has a really nice house. He's got some really good friends. I mean, that's constantly, that's what I feel like is going on whenever anybody comes round here wanting to talk about a globe. A globe is just what you have in your imagination of whatever you want to call it. It's a model that you've made, you personally. Or you can refer it to the globe models that you've got. I've got 3 in this room. Now, I definitely don't live on the globes that are in this room. And I don't really associate them to the thing that I live on, because that would be ridiculous. I don't have a need for it.
There is an interesting correlation, though, between globe and Santa Claus, and that's the whole argument about the North Pole.
Well,
hilarious, right?
Same association, isn't it?
Yeah. Anybody ever put that together?
Oh, speaking of Santa Claus and the North Pole, everybody's heard the balloon overflight, of course. Did you know there was a second one? I just seen half an hour ago. I wanted to mention it. I forgot. There's apparently a second one.
All eyes are looking upwards now. And there are lots of balloons up there.
Yep.
It's known.
Is this another Chinese balloon you're talking about, Essie?
I just heard it. I didn't have a chance. Apparently, it flew over Alaska. I didn't really have a chance.
Communications balloons that dropped out of their own altitude. They came down into visible.
In other words, satellite. Yeah.
Well, a balloon.
Well, they call it a satellite, but
No, they don't.
No, they don't call it a satellite. I do. That's what
No, satellites are ground-based. A satellite that you class that, when you go to your phone or whatever, it's satellite towers. They're towers. They're ground-based.
That is true.
The GPS is all ground-based, yes.
Yeah. So they satellite. If you feeding into that, they're just balloons. Satellites are on the ground. The GPS satellite towers for GPS positioning. Ask a surveyor if you don't believe me. A real surveyor.
I just wanted to add something. The term satellites, even if you got like a little Wi-Fi box at the top of a telephone pole, it's technically called a satellite.
Mm-hmm.
There's no such thing as a satellite. What they say is a satellite. So how'd you like the other picture from the balloon jump? I'd say that's a little bit better, no? Shows Santa Claus on the left and reality on the right.
Isn't that the one that the outside looks different?
Yeah. The one that shows what is that? Nevada or whatever it was, or Arizona or something, where he jumped?
Nevada globe. Yeah.
Yeah, Nevada globe.
Now that, if you ask me, is a very powerful picture. Fantasy on the left, reality on the right, and on the bottom. But I don't like about the eye level, but you can't have it all, right? I didn't make the meme. So to a normie, only a thing like this can make sense. You have to bring up the mythical sphere and compare it to normality, or else they just won't see it. Even if you use water or level, or they're conditioned to think that the water just goes around the sphere. It's conditioned in their brain. I tried it. Tried it with family members. I've tried it with strangers. They're conditioned. That's the way it's in the brain. It's implanted.
Yeah, it's childhood.
Yeah.
That's why you can't get around it. That's what I've been trying to get around and trying to let people see. That you can talk to people about reality. You can go over level, horizontal. You can explain through geometry and logic. Take them through a process with a literal proof from start to end. But right after it, it's that strong that they'll see that picture and go, "'Tis globe." Completely contradicting every proof that they've just been taught, even when they've gone through it themselves. They won't even see the contradiction. That's how strong it is. Nobody's ever going to get around it.
Yeah, we just seen it with the 5.
Mm-hmm.
A literal contradiction of the five. Within the presentation, 20-minute presentation.
Yeah, I've got
Wally
two
wants
clips on my
Wally
phone.
wants us to look up and see the truth.
Look
so
up. Look at the lights in the sky.
Lights in the sky.
It's a magic trick. If nobody can see how fucking ridiculous a magic trick that is. But I mean, it's not a magic trick. It's Wally doing it. But it's the same as somebody going, "Oh look, a bird." That's it.
It's called red herring.
Mm-hmm. It's rubbish, Wally, and it's not really going to carry on working. I hope you don't think that's going to work as an argument, because looking up at the lights in the sky isn't going to help anyone. Definitely not.
There's not much. There's not much working for about 50% of the world's population. I don't think. They may not be. They may not have come to their senses on the wizardry of the globe, but they're coming to their senses on a lot of other things, which is why we have all the censorship that we have today. Might not be 50%. Might be closer to 20%.
They hold on to their fantasies, satellites, time dilation.
Star Trek.
It's
I'm a
just
Star
amazing.
Trek fan.
I still am a huge Star Trek fan.
I love that stuff, especially the time stuff, going back in time.
Yeah. Tractor beams, all that stuff. But you got to realize, fantasy from reality. When I go see a movie, I know the wool is going to be pulled over my eyes, and you kind of allow it to happen.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't do that in the real world. Hello?
Anybody interested? They're the two locks at either end of the canal. The ones with the gate open.
Look at that face. Look at that. Look at that Stockholm man right there. It's amazing. Holding that book up, and actually, when straight lines become curves, and like looking at it like it's your Messiah, like it's a Bible or something.
It is.
Yeah.
It's like somebody forced him to do that picture as well.
You think? I don't know. He looks as proud as hell.
I don't think so either.
He looks like he's a proud owner of that book, like he discovered something, like the Milky Way or something.
Found it whilst tidying his bedroom cupboard. That's what it says. Oh, look what I just found whilst tidying my bedroom cupboard. He thought he'd send me a fucking DM.
He thought he lost it.
Yeah.
He thought he lost it. And look how happy he is now.
I found my Bible, the original one.
Nothing wrong with that.
Because that's the first debate I ever had with that man on straight lines. And he sent me that after the fact. Like he had it all along. He's got that face on him because he's read it. Or he's tried to read it. And he's not got a clue. Or probably it just says, in reality, straight lines don't curve.
Oops.
But
please don't think that straight lines actually curve.
Bev, it looks like he's trying to size himself up with that circle on the other circle aside. I'm just saying.
The curve.
Hold on, let me get a better picture. Let me get a better
Curve
picture
of the
for
man boob.
yeah,
it's about the same.
Yeah, give or take.
I've got a few.
Accurate in that. Holy shit. Pretty close, pretty close. Wait.
Oh, Wally has another question, Bev.
Oh.
If GPS comes from towers, why can Wolfie, all uppercase Wolfie? I don't know what that signifies, but anyway. Why can Wolfie get perfect GPS reception all the way across the Pacific from Sydney to LA?
On his airplane, where they put the GPS receivers on the belly of the airplane. Idiot.
I'll show him why in a second. Let me find the post.
Wally is such a good parishioner.
I'm gonna say this.
Wally's the kind of guy that the religious equivalent is. You know that you go to a church where everybody running the church is a pedophile, but you keep going anyway, and bring your children and your cousin's children and your sister's children and everybody else. This place is great. Wally's such a good parishioner.
Why can Wolfie, big guy? I don't know who Wolfie is, Wally. I know. I mean, you keep talking about him, but like as far as I'm concerned, it's like a figment of your imagination.
He's a character.
Yeah, it's just like somebody you've invented.
There's your answer, Wally. Find it in live chat.
No, he's not gonna find it in live chat.
Not Wally. Somebody else will have to give it to him.
Him gone.
Do you like the sliced arcane? I've put it on there so everybody can see it. Sliced arcane made a GIF or a meme because he got really triggered. They all do. He said, so this is one I found. Sliced arcane. That's sliced arcane on the right hand side, sticking the finger up. I said, I hope that's not a fucking worktop. I mean, how would that look if that was your work place? He says, next time Bev tries to inject his son into a discussion as a pathetic attempt to deflect another topic. And I said, this is a comment that I put about my son, right? I said, he doesn't have any friends. All the kids his age have been taught by people like you to demean people who they think differently. He has to deal with people like you all day at school. Team try thinking. Are just normal people with questions. That's what I was saying back then. And the reason that I came into this, I don't know whether people know this. The reason I came into this was because my son has autism. Have we got a hot mic?
Brenda.
Oh, Brenda.
What's wrong?
Is that
what's
hot
wrong
mic,
with this
Brenda?
person?
Thank you very much. So I was I brought into it because I wanted to find some way to help him be able to understand everybody out there in real life, right? How to help him deal with people that may not deal too well with truth when spoken to them. So that's what I was talking about. And he said, just remember, Bev made these 2 drawings in a weak attempt to discredit me by falsely portraying me as a fat guy. You know who did those drawings? Yeah, my son. I asked him to draw a guy for us, and he did. So my son was involved in it. I like to keep family involved in all of this sort of stuff. So I asked him to do some drawings, and that's the drawings he did. Slice Barcane thought that it was him, but it was just a guy that my son drew. So Slice Barcane's made this Slice Barcane made this meme. He says, just remember, Bev made these 2 drawings in a weak attempt to discredit me by falsely portraying me as a fat guy. I thought they were quite good. Bev obviously thinks that displaying me as a presumably unkempt and overweight is an acceptable way to demean and act towards people who disagree with him. So, Bev, if you are wondering who is teaching their kids to demean others who disagree or think differently, that would be you, Bev.
Oh, for crying out loud.
It's on my whiteboard, right? I mean, doing pictures.
Hang on a second. Hang on a second. Don't we deal with this since I'm saying we, I just mean, like, we're basically taught to ridicule flat earthers from kindergarten.
I don't think that's
true. This guy has the biggest case of projection I've ever seen.
I don't think it's true that you're taught to laugh at flat earthers. It just comes naturally to people.
It doesn't come naturally to me. Like when I was 39 years old.
I didn't say it came naturally to you. I just said it comes naturally to most people.
Oh, okay. You got evidence of that?
Brenda, wait a minute. Brenda, please.
Yeah.
You speak for yourself as much as you want.
Brenda.
Yeah. Welcome back, Brenda. I don't know how you got around the ban. Have you made a new account?
No, this is not a new account.
Okay. Did somebody release you from the banning?
I have no idea.
Oh.
I just clicked on the link and I got in. I don't know what I did.
Wow.
Well,
Maybe
welcome back,
Discord
Brenda. Let's
stuff.
hope you don't get banned.
Now, from this time, Brenda, can you start off by not speaking for a group and just speak for yourself?
I think I can speak for groups.
I think you should just speak for yourself.
No, I think I can speak for groups.
Which groups would you be wanting to be the figurehead of?
Well, I didn't say anything about being a figurehead. I just
well, you're
said
speaking for them.
No, I don't speak for them. I can just talk about groups of people.
Okay. But you did say that most people would be laughing at another group, right? Well, the most people is a group, isn't it? And you're speaking for those. Well, please don't speak for a group of people.
I'm not speaking for them. I'm just saying that most people would laugh at flat earthers.
I don't think they would. I don't think
they don't. I think they do.
I mean, like, I think you do. But I don't think most people do. I think that's a ridiculous overstatement.
Most of the stuff that I've seen in the normie culture has been to mock and ridicule flat earthers.
No, you are in a community where you are around a lot of people that mock and ridicule that. But that's specifically for a purpose. You didn't hear what I
said, did you? You didn't hear what I said. I said in the normie world, outside of the globe debunkers, most people would mock and ridicule a flat earther.
Okay. Would they be
fooled? When does that start, Brenda?
Would they be fooled by the psyop that is flat earth?
No, they just laugh at people who are dumb.
I think they've been trapped in the psyop. They've been completely tricked because the flat earth isn't a thing, is it? Is the flat earth a thing?
It seems to be a small group of people. I don't know what the numbers are.
So when
It
you
seems-
say that people ridicule it, you're talking about them ridiculing a group of people.
Yeah, people who think the
Sounds
Earth is
like
flat.
bigotry, that right?
No, that's not bigotry.
It is. You're going after a group of people to ridicule them and
That's
laugh
not
at
what
them.
bigotry is. That's not what bigotry is.
Go on, what's bigotry then to you?
It's making unfair generalizations
About a group?
Yeah, like if you say,
well, that's exactly what you're doing.
Like when people in your community talk about the Jews.
What do you mean, my community?
Yeah, your community. When you talk about the Jews,
We don't.
That's you being
Whoever
bigoted.
said anything about
We
a Jew.
don't, Brenda.
But you do.
No, we don't.
That's two groups you were trying to lump these guys into.
But that's an example of bigotry. But saying that's an example of bigotry.
You've just given us an example of bigotry. Yeah. You've just given us an example of you laughing and ridiculing a group of people.
Yes, because they're dumb.
See, there you go.
You called
it. It's not wrong.
It's bigotry.
No, it's not wrong. Is it?
It is bigotry, right?
No, it's not. You're dumb.
Is it wrong? Is it wrong to pretend you're something you're not?
Oh, here you go with that great big cock up your ass.
Didn't take long to get banned, huh?
Very simple question. I just asked you if it was wrong to pretend to be something you're not.
I've muted her because I'm not.
In your opinion, Brenda, is it wrong to pretend that you're something you're not?
Emma, ask it again.
Everybody out there heard it. It's fine.
Everybody,
she knows
everybody ask Brenda, so you should mute everybody.
If she's gonna put you on mute, then she don't need to speak here. Good day. Get out of here.
To go, Brenda.
Night. Bye bye.
Just showing your true colors for the bigots that you are.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Bye bye.
it is.
Yeah.
Okay, we won't ask
Definitely
Brenda questions.
Yeah.
I knew she wouldn't last long.
It's a new account, is it?
I wonder what hit a little too close to home there. There's something about that. Wonder what
I didn't think
fight.
it was that difficult of a question.
Well, apparently it was. I wonder what we could speculate possibly.
I wonder why Brenda's been sent back in. It does seem like they're struggling. Blue Marble scientists have to send Brenda in. Special ops. Blue ops. I bet you Brenda's not even allowed over there at Blue Ops anyway.
I don't know. Last night's show was pretty devastating. So that could be why.
I think Brenda put a cape on.
Could be.
I'll go and save you, Globe. For the Globe! Yeah, that's right, Brenda. Sent. Yes, you were. Sent. How's McToon doing? Or Jesse? Jesse, you reckon Jesse's going to come back?
So it's here. I seen McToon the other day. He was on Bro Sanchez. You guys know who Bro Sanchez is?
I think I've seen a couple of. I think
he's a bit of a character. I like him. He's a little out there, but yeah, Fight the Flat Earth and MC Toon were on Bro Sanchez's show, getting triggered. Bro Sanchez is hilarious. If you ever get a chance, you just listen to him for like half an hour. I don't know. He might not be your cup of tea, but I think he's pretty funny.
Bro got wrecked, Brenda says. By McToon.
See?
Dude. I've had, like I say, I've had enough of all of the all of this stuff, because if there were no flat Earth, right, the way I consider it, the people like Brenda, Blue Marble Science, and Zanuck and Rumpus, they'd have nothing to do, because they don't ever talk about the globe.
Yeah, they need me.
Yeah, they just need everybody, the whole flat Earth. It's a psyop to keep people like Brenda and possibly the dregs of society, right? Keep them amused. And they invent flat earthers. They've all got, like, I bet Brenda's practiced the flat earther account. They've all had fake flat earthers. They've all tried to be a flat earther for a laugh and a joke. I've not. I've never tried to be a flat earther as a troll. You don't need to. Just be yourself on the level.
Could I ask Wally to explain his comment or remove it, please? Please show where Brenda was attacked.
Yeah.
Remove it.
If asking a question is attacking, then wow.
Yeah.
Lots of people.
Tenderflakes.
Wow.
I would say that Brenda was rude, because if Brenda muted you, Emma, for me this is an insult. So, just
Not only that, before that happened, Brenda was calling people dumb about 4, 5, 6 times.
Well, I will admit, Wally, I will admit to calling Brenda a bigot for laughing and ridiculing a group of people that he knows nothing about. Truthbot's banned. Again. Just can't stop it, can you, Brenda? It's like full on. Even our bot knows.
I don't get it. Brenda doesn't have any friends. Go kick it with, go talk to.
Even the bot knows when someone's pretending.
Such angry people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's free for all Friday. This is what we're here for. This is what we're doing. I thought Brenda had come in to solve a paradox or something like that. But it seems not.
Great globe paradox.
It's an attack question. That's what Emma's
My
the best at.
question
That's
was an-
absolutely full-on
Okay, so
frontal
we'll-
attack
okay.
question. Come on.
So we'll
Brenda is
completely-
too intelligent for that.
Yeah, we'll completely gloss over everything that Brenda said before that point, when I just stepped in and asked a simple question. So why are you not pointing out what Brenda did? Why are you so offended by a question?
And nobody else is bothered about what Brenda did, because everybody expects that sort of stuff of Brenda. So everyone has become accepting of Brenda's bigotry. Now Wally seems
Brenda's
to get
allowed to go
offended.
around. Yeah, Brenda's allowed to go around calling people dumb. And that's fine. But then asking a question.
A genuine question.
Mm-hmm.
And then the response that you got after you asked that question. Does
Yes,
anybody
the
remember that?
response
I mean,
was
yeah,
grotesque.
go back and listen to that. That's all
Quite
right.
triple
Apparently,
X.
apparently
Yeah.
that's good with Wally. Perhaps Wally has some affiliation or something with the comment that was made after that question. Go back and listen to it, Wally, and let us know if you resemble that remark that Brenda made.
Nice try, though. I mean, you could be a little bit better. I thought the one that they did round at Geo's last night was a bit interesting. And this has been tried. You need a new team, Brenda. You need a new operandi, is it? A new sort of script. It's getting old. At least you and Wally, though, right? You've got a team there. What a team. Wally and Brenda.
I am disappointed. When I saw that Brenda is here, I think, okay, new Brenda, new arguments, fresh Brenda here. No, not fresh.
Hell no.
Same old Brenda.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And now going to probably go and cry to Discord that some rules were broken or something. Maybe try with YouTube to try and get the YouTube channel shut down or something.
I'm assuming that at the same time that Wally is typing this stuff in YouTube, he's also typing similar things to Brenda in a DM. And we don't get to see it, maybe. I mean, surely you're not biased and one-sided and hypocritical, are you, Wally?
Try asking science questions. It's free for all Friday.
Hang on. Since when have we been ever solely about science? Ever? Or have we claimed to be?
Bunny ear science we were talking about. Blue Marvel science. Bunny ears science, that. We do a bit of physics, though.
I think Wally should come in and explain himself.
He can't. He's too shy. If you're like Darren, you know, like the other day when Darren came on with a recorded thing, I think that was Wally. It was a recording of Wally.
No way. I don't think so. If that was Wally, I have a whole new respect for Wally, because that was freaking fantastic. I thought that was great.
It's great.
I don't think Wally's honestly, I don't think Wally's clever enough for that. I think Darren might be a whole new player. Maybe we got to the Grand Poobah. We might have. I mean, Stark Otter spent hours this morning defending Darren that didn't need defending.
Well, yeah, that's the point. Darren is gone missing, has he? It's a shame that, because we were waiting on an answer from Darren. That was a really interesting question there. I mean, I have been through it a few times. I think in the past it was with the Twitter guys, and then it was WS. And then, well, really, WS has just refused to talk about any of that sort of stuff. And we've got past all of those earlier ones, Circle and all that. And now we're at book 12 with some fantastic stuff.
You know, Ruhif is behind all that stuff. I thought it was WS, but it's Ruhif. Double drop, humps, and all that stuff in the air and the tangents. That's Ruhif.
It's I think WS is the Flat Earth.ws, and it's a group. Most of these people, I think, that we're talking to here, Wally and Brenda and all of that, they all have a part in it. Like Mick, Mick West was starting his Metabunk curve calculator, he asked for everybody's help. Zanuck and, you know, all of these people that are around, they all got involved in on it. So this is a big team effort on behalf of the people that actually you're talking to right now. Not Neil deGrasse Tyson and all that. These people that Walter Bislin, Jesse Kozlowski, Mick West, Zanuck, probably Wally and his fictional friend Wolfie. Maybe
What happened to Mick West? Did he quit? Sorry, Beth. Did Mick West quit?
I don't know. Metabunk, I haven't got a clue. I
Crawled up under a rock and just... Yeah. I remember that.
And he didn't know his numbers for his calculator. It's like they're so fake. The whole thing's just fake. Everyone within this arena, they've made up a load of bullshit. And then they've taught an argument to everyone. Circular arguments. Now the flat earthers are just repeating the circular arguments that go nowhere, that they need to have so that the globe guys, the blue marble scientists, can take the piss out of them. Because the moment they have to fucking have a look for their own globe and find proofs for themselves, they're going to be in trouble. Well, they're going to be in trouble soon anyway, aren't they? How are they gonna compete when they find out that they can't have perpendicularity on their globe model? It's just not possible. Not logically possible to have perpendicularity on the model. Terrible position to be in. Just imagine being in their position. Being so wrapped up in a model that you have to find some way to accept a paradox that's absolutely impossible on multiple levels. The only way impossibilities happen is because the truth's so fucking obvious. Wouldn't be an impossibility if there wasn't a known truth. You can't have that known truth without logic to get you there. So these guys have to these guys have to make up fucking ridiculous shit. Whereas Wally says Mick West, he's gone on to better things. Mick West is debunking UFO nonsense these days.
How brave. How brave.
So, Wally, you think it's nonsense? UFOs? People on other planets? You think that's nonsense?
Well, that's hardly job security, seeing that the government is admitting to them now.
Well, I'd have thought Wally, at least, with his gazing at the lights in the sky, must have thought of other things. At least it's got to be at least possible. Not nonsense. How could it be no sense? Wally, for you anyway. I mean, I agree. It's fucking stupid. But I'd have thought somebody who gazes at lights in the sky might be accepting of a slight possibility of them, at least. It's a really weird position, that, isn't it?
How to debunk nonsense? If it is nonsense, it is nothing to debunk.
Yeah. That's the whole thing about flat Earth.
Have you guys not seen the Navy footage of these UFOs? Come on now. The one that goes in the water, jumps in the water, jumps out of the water. Wally, come on.
Wow, look at the chat's going great. We've got Spooky December back again. He says there is no logical reason that vertical lines must be parallel to each other, and in reality they are not. There's no logical reason. See, these people don't have logic.
And the logic is his globe.
They have to send in people like this, right? Now, if somebody's willing to state that there's no logical reason for vertical lines must be parallel to each other, even though vertical and horizontal are perpendicular, and he says there's no logical reason, there's no logic in that man at all. Or he's just blatantly being dishonest. One or the other. That's it. There is no middle ground in this. There's no mistaken. You could not be that. I mean, it's not even really geometrically ignorant, because it's at the basics of logic. Straight lines, perpendicularity. It's not just about straight lines. It's about logical concepts. Sort of like the bridge of asses for the glober. Guaranteed to get them stuck is the point of perpendicularity of two straight lines, vertical, horizontal. And if you're struggling with that, where are they going to go? How can you obfuscate that when it becomes that blatantly obvious that they've got a problem with vertical being a straight line and horizontal being a straight line perpendicular to it? It's rather sad. But hey, we are going to be moving on to bigger and better things. Namely, well, I mean, what's next? I think in this time that we've been around this arena and for 4, 5, 6 years, I think it's coming to its end, isn't it? Flat Earth's obviously a ridiculous. Sorry, who was that?
Just saying, game over. Go ahead.
Yep. There's no need for flat Earth unless you want to distract the blue marble science massive. And what they do is they just ridicule flat earthers. People like Brenda.
You'd think that Brenda would come in with a different tact, right? But no, the same old vitriol.
That's it.
Same old, just making insults and for no reason.
Well, for a reason that they have no argument. Right? They've got nothing else to do. There's no argument to put forward. They've got no proofs. That's all they've got. That's all they've ever had.
As soon as it's free for all Friday, do you think I could interrupt for some of Rob's cool shit?
Are you going to be putting your camera on?
Yeah. I was hoping to maybe. I got some cool shit here today. It's a 1930 Ford Model A. You guys ever seen one?
No. Go on, let's have a look.
Like I'm a bit of an engineer, but some of the stuff in this thing is so crazy. This is like one of the first cars they ever made.
That's gorgeous.
That's beautiful, yeah.
So some interesting facts about these things. They're weird. So they were ran on 6 volts. So what I'm doing is I'm converting it to a 12-volt car now. But some weird stuff going on here.
Is that the gas cap there, Rob?
That's your ignition coil and distributor with the 4 spark plugs right on the top of the motor.
No kidding.
And the starter was actually a hand crank in the front. And then they added mechanical starters as well, which I have here. But in order to engage it, there's a foot pedal that plungers this piece here. That's this mechanical solenoid. So you actually have a pedal down in here for your starter. You push that pedal to start it. And
Is
then
that
your gas
original?
pedal. Yeah, this is all original. This gas pedal is actually also, if you watch the gas pedal, that there's a lever on the steering wheel that is also your gas pedal.
No way.
What the heck?
And you can adjust the timing of the motor with this lever. So the I don't know if you know anything about motors and timing, but that other lever is actually attached to this rod that changes
mean
your
a choke?
distributor coil.
A choke, Rob?
Yeah, sort of. Well, it adjusts the timing. So you could call it a choke, yeah. And then I had to change all the light bulbs to 12 volt because they're all 6-volt bulbs. Definitely a cool little project for the week.
That's nice.
That's awesome, bro. How many people get to work on a?
No, I
beauty?
get to do a lot of cool stuff. You guys remember the big white skull van? I've
Yeah,
done
yeah.
so many crazy things here. But yeah, this thing's pretty cool. That was my free for all Friday fun.
Nice.
Thanks, guys.
Nice.
Pimp my ride, Rob. Thank you very much, Rob.
It's actually Rob the Installer at hotmail.com.
Wow, look at that. There's geometry going on in the chat. I don't know who Into the Break is, but Spooky doesn't really know anything about geometry. He's a practicing sophist. And one thing that sophists should really know, which they don't seem to have got a grip on, is that you can't do sophistry with geometry. That's the only one thing that can't be sophisted. Can't be sophisticated. You're not allowed to do it, but Spooky's a practicing sophist, so you've got to be careful with practicing sophists like this, because they might not be able to fool people who know geometry, but not a lot of people know a lot about geometry, so they probably could get away with it by doing what they have is they have like reality and geometry, and they try and keep them separate when there are real proofs to link the two together. That's why geometry was made. It was made as geometry, earth measurement. So obviously the measurement of the earth, the land, the elevations of the land, all of that sort of stuff was made within geometry, and geometry was the proof that proves reality, really. It's what is. It's a logical handbook to show you what is. So he's practicing sophistry around it. And it's a very interesting thing. Perhaps it's the most interesting thing about this entire arena is the fact that there are people that are fooled entirely by a psyop and completely miss the whole point of what they should be looking at. That's how sophisticated this arena is of distraction. I suppose all life's a distraction. Wally, yeah, I've already had a go of the paradox. Wally's made up a paradox, right? And he thinks it's sort of similar to the perpendicular paradox, the blue marble induced perpendicular paradox. He thinks it's similar to that, but it just doesn't make any sense. I can't find anybody to even attempt an understanding. If you want to go to my community page on YouTube, you'll see Wally's meme that he's done. So there's even a few comments from by Wally in the thing. So Wally, if you want to put your description of what exactly it is and how it goes, let us know and we'll have a go at it. I'll try and explain it to everyone. I'll try and get a few of your mates to do it. What are you posting that for? Plumb exactly vertical. Vertical at right angles to a horizontal plane. That's true. Spooky, yeah. You can come in at any time you want as well, Spooky. I've always said this, that these guys on the other side, they'll always have to end up taking the position, and then they'll try and they'll try and state that that's their position, which obviously has to be because it's a reality position. All verticals are perpendicular to the plane of the horizon, just as all horizontals are parallel to it. It's never going to get old saying it, and I'll probably be able to say it quite a lot more.
Looks like we got some new members, eh? Why don't you guys come in for a chat?
This Spooky is not very good.
No.
He's not very well, but I am reading what he's writing, and he's not very well. His conclusion is that so are plumb lines not plumb then? This is not conclusion from the statement before. This into the break responded to him, and Spooky said that he defined twice, vertical twice. And then he said that plumb is not plumb because plumb is vertical. So plumb is not plumb because it's vertical. Do you follow his logic? It's just nonsense.
He's got this one here. He's just said a cube can have up to 3 vertical lines as edges if one corner of the cube is centered at the center of the earth. I mean, he's not well.
Yes. So I said so. He's not well.
Yeah.
He's not well.
But this is this guy's a Blue Marble scientist. He's over there in Blue Marble Science Discord, obviously, and it's a mythical science. And it's a mythical science that this guy's obviously a sophist, or he's not well, like paper says. He's possibly. I don't want to say that, but it's got to be put out there as a possibility, at least. Perhaps he's mentally disturbed.
Yeah, more than a possibility, in
Yeah.
my opinion. That's just my opinion. We still have to talk about Spooky.
Yeah.
We still have to do it, an after hours thing on Spooky at some point. Get all of his comments up in the Discord and go through them. It'd be fun.
Yeah, he's perhaps not one of the best man, if any Blue Marble scientists are out there. He said in a cube, a cube can in reality have up to 3 vertical edges. And why can it have 3 vertical edges? Because let E be the edge length and volume equals E cubed. So that's why 3 vertical, because E cubed, like I say, it's a cube, so you have 1 dimension, then you square it, and then you have the other dimension, which brings it into the cube. They can't all be vertical, those 3 dimensions. I don't know what's going on. Blue Marble Sophists are in the chat. Alice in Wonderland, literally.
By the way, cube has 4 vertical edges.
I know. Yeah, that's what I was saying. He thinks it only has 3 vertical edges because of the cubed function of the cube. Like I say, I don't know how basic anybody should be with this. Whether you need to do this. I can't see why you should need to go and explain a cube to a blue marble scientist when you know that they can't have that cube having 1 face horizontal. They have to purposely misrepresent it. Oh. Has anybody got anything else they want to go over? I need to make a brew. The chat's distracting me. I know why we have a text chat Friday night. Has anybody got anything else they want to go over? No? We'll go into an after hours then. I think there's some stuff we need to go over. Anybody wants to come in, come on into the Discord. And we'll have a after hours, sort of a members only. Because we do have some stuff we want to go over. We get a Buster song sorted. We're going to go into a true free-for-all Friday session. Not broadcast. Not even recorded. What's that? 2 conflicting truths. We've got to prepare for next week. Next week, Model Affliction Monday, I think we'll start going over Jesse Kozlowski and the surveying. Bring back the bridge. It's a shame that Blue Marbles banned us from his Discord, because I think he'll be wanting to get involved in the going over of the Lake Pontchartrain, Lake Rakia, as we call it, next week, and a bit of the surveying, a bit of the guy who may or may not live in Maine, and sort of that. We'll give a build up to. We might even go over the Zenith thing. Is it somebody? Did somebody do a Zenith thing? I think we might go from the guy that may or may not live in Maine, if he's still got his videos up on his channel.
Speaking of going over videos before you leave, has Flat Earth Math done his newest?
I don't know. I've not. I'm waiting for
the
it.
straw man
Yeah.
rebuttal.
Yeah, I've got that members only thing waiting. I'm waiting for the rebuttal of the rebuttal of the rebuttal to the straw man.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to
video.
that.
Well, I don't know whether it's coming or not. I don't think it can. I think he's failed or he's got wrapped up in Super Mario Galaxy whilst recording. Okay, thank you very much for watching. Come on Discord. This weekend will be a good weekend. So pop on in. It's a good time to start coming around and having a chat. Teach you a few tricks. A few of the stories that we know about. All of the actors and the characters within the scene round here. Okay, thank you very much for watching. Join us next week. Bit more surveying sort of stuff. Let's give it a go.
Everybody's got a path to choose. You can critically think or give yourself to accepted information too. Well, you got it right. Everybody's got their own way to go. Fast to what you know. Don't let their opinions throw you off. You got to stay the course you're on. You got it right. Everybody's got their own way to go. Comes a time you have to choose. You can't hold two conflicting truths. Eliminate the wrong path to take. You'll find the answers that you need. Contemplate before you make a choice. You got to let your voice be heard. You never see this place again. You got it right. Everybody's got their own way to go. There comes a time you have to choose. You can't hold two conflicting truths. Eliminate the wrong path to take. You'll find the answers that you need. Try not to enable their thoughts. They got enough problem with this bridge to cross. No matter what I say, they're doomed. You got it right. Everybody's got comes a time you have to choose.